Read that again when she got up.
And the man would not remain. But he rose and saddled his donkey. And whilst he was saddling his ass, a donkey, the wife of Hadad said to her husband, "Behold, this man has remained with us for 2 days, eating and drinking, and he has given us nothing. And now shall he go away from us without giving anything?" And Hadad said to her, "Be silent." And the man saddled the donkey, the ass, to go. And he asked Hadad to give him the cord and mantle
give me my cord and my mantle back.
Tie it upon the donkey. And Hadad said to him, "What sayest thou?"
Wait a minute. Here comes some confusion. Hadad said, "What you say?"
And he said to him, "That thou, my lord, shall give me the cord and the mantle with divers colors, which thou didst conceal with thee in thy house to take care of it."
Now that didn't belong to Hadad. That belonged to this man. Okay.
And Hadad answered the man, saying, "This is the interpretation of thy dream, the cord." This is the interpretation of thy dream. The cord which thou didst see means that thy life will be lengthened out like a cord, and having seen the mantle colored with all sorts of colors means that thou shalt have a vineyard in which thou wilt plant trees of all fruits.
So Hadad, you're a warlock? Is your wife a witch? Who asked you to give me an interpretation of a dream?
I'm
looking for my cord. It's time for me to go. But you prophesying,
prophesying.
Yeah, you prophesying. That's what we're saying. Go ahead.
Verse 31. And the traveler answered, saying, "Not so, my lord, for I was awake when I gave thee the cord, and also a mantle woven with different colors, which thou didst take off the ass of the donkey to put them by for me." So put them up for me. And Hadad answered and said, "Surely I have told thee the interpretation of thy dream."
I didn't ask you to tell me the interpretation of my dream. I'm asking you to give me my cord back that you took off of my donkey.
"Surely I have told thee the interpretation of thy dream, and it is a good dream, and this is the interpretation."
Hold on, Prophet. This man, Hadad, had a wicked plan immediately. When he first saw this stranger coming with that donkey, he wanted that cord anyway. This is what he wanted. So he devised a whole wicked scheme, a whole plan, just to get that cord. And he would do extreme measures to do it. His wife said, "This man been in the house for 2 days. He ate up everything."
He didn't say everything.
But he ate up everything. And you just gonna let him get away with that? So he gonna tell her to be quiet.
Because she
got a right to say it because she been cooking.
Right, she been cooking and doing what's what. But he's a crafty little person. Verse 32. Now the sons of men give me 4 pieces of silver, which is my charge for interpreting dreams. And of thee I only require 3 pieces of silver. And the man was provoked at the words of Hadad, and he cried bitterly, and he brought Hadad to Sarat, judge of Sodom.
Okay.
And the man laid his cause before Sarat, the judge. When Hadad replied, saying, "It is not so, but thus the matter stands." And the judge said to the traveler, "This man Hadad telleth thee truth, for he is famed in the cities for the accurate interpretation of dreams."
So here we go, brothers. I'm showing similarities again. Hadad, all right, and the man brought Hadad before a judge of Sodom. Okay, this is a wicked city. The leaders of the city are wicked.
Yep.
Okay, even today, you can go before a judge today and have all your evidence, and these people will turn on you.
Not turn on you; they're just both against you.
Yeah, they're both against you.
They didn't turn. They was standing like that all the time.
Injustice. That's what we call it. Injustice.
Right.
This is some injustice going on here. Keep going, Prophet.
This man Hadad telleth thee truth, for he is famed in the cities for the accurate interpretation of dreams. Verse
what?
30.
He is famed for what?
The accurate interpretation of dreams. And the man cried at the word of the judge, and he said, "Not so, my lord, for it was in the day that I gave him the cord and mantle which was upon the ass, in order to put them by in his house." And they both disputed before the judge, the one saying, "Thus the matter was," and the other, declaring otherwise. So one was saying one thing, the other one was saying, the opposite. Verse 36. And Hadad said to the man, give me 4 pieces of silver that I charge for my interpretations of dreams.
Okay.
I will not make any allowance, and give me the expense of the 4 meals.
Okay.
The 4 meals that thou didst eat in my house.
Okay. Brothers and sisters, you have to be aware of people that will unjustly charge you for stuff even today. We got to be aware of people that would rob us just to get our money even today.
But here's the thing. There was a plot and plan all the time. And in all honesty, how many witnesses does this traveler have against him? He has Hadad and the wife. The wife fed him. So he's thinking that they're being kind when really they're robbing him.
Yep, they're robbing him.
You're befriending people because they said they were your friend. You do not know them. But now, what case does he really have? Because according to Scripture, the 2 or 3 witnesses. And that's how we get tripped up in court, because the people are wicked, like you said, Elder. And we get in too deep with them to the point where it's your word, as they said, against the other person's. And if all you need is one more person on the evil person's side, and you're done for.
We see, even by example right now, we see this city, Sodom, was wicked. The people in the city was wicked. Keep going, Prophet. Verse 36?
I wanted to get back to where was I? Oh, okay. And Hadad said to the man, give me 4 pieces of silver that I charge for my interpretations of dreams. I will not make any allowance. And give me the expense of the 4 meals that thou didst eat in my house. And the man said to Hadad, truly I will pay thee for what I ate in thy house. Only give me the cord and mantle, which thou didst conceal in thy house. And Hadad replied before the judge and said to the man, did I not tell thee the interpretation of thy dream? The cord means that thy days shall be prolonged like a cord, and the mantle that thou wilt have a vineyard in which thou wilt plant all kinds of fruit trees. So you're just going to continue to make me crazy. Verse 39, this is the proper interpretation of thy dream. Now give me the 4 pieces of silver that I require as a compensation, for I will make thee no allowance. And the man cried at the words of Hadad, and they both quarreled before the judge. And the judge gave orders to his servants, who drove them rashly from the house. And they went away quarreling from the judge. When the people of Sodom heard them, they gathered about them, and they exclaimed against the stranger, of course, and they drove him rashly from the city. And the man continued his journey upon his ass with bitterness of soul, lamenting and weeping. And whilst he was going along, he wept at what happened to him in the corrupt city of Sodom.
So we're going to go into chapter 19. We're going to go into the continuation of this corrupt city. This man was just traveling through the city. 2 days he went through physical hell here. Everybody in the city was against him.
Yeah.
But the Most High was still with this man. It hurt him emotionally that he had to leave from this place
without his stuff. His cord and his mantle.
They robbed him.
They did. His cord and his mantle. And see, here's the thing. What we need to recognize about a mantle. What is a mantle? That's all. It's probably more like an heirloom. And the cord with many colors, that's something that was also saw as very expensive. So he had taken what was expensive in the first place from the beginning in day one, knew what he was going to do, because he was a skillful at wickedness or evil, as it stated.
All right, brothers, follow along with us. We're with the lesson today, America, baby, the daughter of Babylon. We're going to into the book of Jasher again. We're going to finish up. We're going to chapter 19, verse 1.
And the cities of Sodom had 4 judges to 4 cities, and these were their names: Sirach.
We just seen Sirach. He was the judge that just judged over this man.
Absolutely. Sirach in the city of Sodom, Sharkad in Gomorrah, Zabnek in Admah, and Menon in Zeboim.
Okay.
And Eliezer, Abraham's servant, applied to them different names. And he converted Sirach to Shakra,
Mm-hmm.
and Shakad to Shakrura, and Zebnak to Kezobim,
Mm-hmm.
and Menon to Matzlodin.
Wonderful, wonderful pronunciations, prophets.
Mhm. And by desire of their 4 judges, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah had beds erected in the streets of the cities.
Okay, so that look, here's another wickedness. Look, these people been doing wicked for a long time
Aging.
now. I'm telling you.
Aging abominably. That's what it said. Aging. Long time.
What's the oldest profession that they say is in the world today?
Prostitution.
Okay. You think it's just with women? Keep reading, prophets.
All right. And by verse 3 of the book of Jasher, chapter 19, those of you who are following along, and by desire of their 4 judges, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah had beds erected in the streets of the cities. And if a man came to these places...
That's in the open, right, prophet? They got what erected in the city?
Beds.
Okay.
In the cities. And if a man came to these places... They laid hold of him and brought him to one of their beds, and by force made him lie in them.
Okay, brothers and sisters, here's a similarity, okay? The Most High sees everything the same. There's nothing new under the sun. In our cities, in this land right now, we have legal places, legal houses of prostitution. Okay? So, Babylon is Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
Wickedness is wickedness. This went on in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Way before Rome,
Mm-hmm.
way before Greece, Persia, all of that, way before that. This went on in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a similarity that's happening right now today.
And the characteristics identify them as baby Babylons or Babylonian customs and characteristics.
Exactly, prophet.
Verse 4, and as he lay down, 3 men would stand at his head and 3 at his feet, and measure him by the length of the bed. And if the man was less than the bed, these 6 men would stretch him at each end.
Whoa.
And when he cried out to them, they would not answer him.
That's just wickedness. Keep going.
And if he was longer than the bed, they would draw together the two sides of the bed at each end until the man had reached the gates of death.
So they go smother the man.
They stretched him to death.
They stretch him to death. And then in the second one, they go smother the man to death until he reached the gates of death.
Of death. And if he continued to cry out to them, they would answer him, saying, "Thus shall it be done to a man that cometh into our land." So it's like some of the areas, you know, we have it in every state. You know where not to go. And though, like in Harlem or in Detroit, in certain places, if you call for help or call the police or this, they won't come. They won't come. So it's like, you know, that's what they're saying. Don't even come to my land. So they probably couldn't even get a judge or any kind of security anybody to come through there.
Come, prophets. Not even a righteous man will help this person.
Verse 7, and when men heard all these things that the people of the cities of Sodom did, they refrained.
So that's what I'm saying. So some people,
they refrained from coming there.
What you saying, prophet? We know in certain places we don't even go.
Yep.
All right? We know that. So go ahead, prophet.
Verse 8, and when a poor man came to their land, they would give him silver and gold and cause a proclamation in the whole city not to give him a morsel of bread to eat. And if the stranger should remain there some days and die from hunger, not having been able to obtain a morsel of bread, then at his death all the people of the city would come and take their silver and gold which they gave him.
What kind of wickedness is that?
That's evil.
That's
you give him money and he all happy. He gonna try to stay there, but you ain't gonna sell him nothing, so he gonna die.
That's a form of selling your soul to Satan, right? You get all the shiny stuff, but you can't live. This is proclamation by the word of God. What Christ told Satan: man should not live by bread alone, but by every word of the Most High that comes out of the man. Okay, so. This is wicked. This is wicked. What you got there, Prophet? You got something in the Apocrypha you want to bring out?
No, it's just continuing to reference where we started off at in Baruch chapter 6, dealing with the stone and the silver, gold, and the stone. And it's just continuing to reference it. So they committed evils with the silver and gold. They give it to them, but they have an evil heart, you know, and so they tell everybody is in cahoots not to give him anything to eat, so he dies, and then they come and take it back.
Wicked.